Welcome to this brief overview of the LEED rating system, or Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design. According to the USGBC website, it is a green building certification program that recognizes best-in-class building strategies and practices. Now, of course, all of you, for the most part, have watched my previous videos on Living Building Challenge and Passive House, so we could debate about best-in-class. But one of the great things about USGBC and the LEED rating system is they've been very honest about what that system really is, and it's clearly marked as a green building rating system. In my previous classes, we talked a lot about sustainability and green and the difference between the two, and we talked about how Living Building Challenge might be more of an expression of holistic sustainability versus LEED, which is more interested in high performance buildings and green design. And of course, in order to get LEED, you have to get points, and a lot of people object to this and say, well, people are gaming the system and LEED is horrible. I'm hoping that through this lecture that I'm going to be giving you today, that you'll begin to see what LEED really is and what it really is trying to achieve, and why it's actually not only not horrible, but actually has been extremely valuable to corporations, large institutions, and certainly has been essential in moving the market forward. And then LEED is organized with a bunch of prerequisites and credits. I'll be going through that. That's sort of the details. This is the overview. And we know that LEED is a multi-level system. You can earn all kinds of different levels: LEED, gold, platinum, etc. It's also multi-attribute, so it's covering water, energy, etc. It's third-party validated through commissioning, which I'll talk about later, which is critical. And it is a relative system, meaning that some of the points are, one, based on a comparison between a baseline and how much better you do versus that baseline. And there's the points. None of you who are working on LEED projects should be getting anything less than 80 points. And I know that there are budgets out there, and I know that I'm joking right now, but platinum is a great thing to achieve. Each rating system requirements address the unique needs of a building or project. So we're going to talk about different rating systems within LEED. And project teams, especially the sustainability consultant or designer, will help the team decide which one is the best given the requirements of the project. And there are the 5 major LEED rating systems that you can now choose from. And this is sort of represents an evolution of LEED over many, many years, where it was not this complex before. And so I'm just going to take you through a few of these. LEED for building design and construction. I'm accredited in this particular category, and this applies to buildings that are new or going to go through a major renovation, like being stripped down and gutted. And there are different types within this. So not only do we have different rating systems, we have types or focuses of each one of these. So we can be looking at slightly different credits, not so different point systems for each of these, or different ways to get points for each of these, and it's pretty varied, and it really shows the popularity of LEED, where they had to address all these different kinds. Now, interior design and construction, of course, applies to commercial interiors or project fit outs, but it can also look at retail and hospitality. And now we have LEED for O&M. Now, 97% of the buildings in the world are existing, and operations and maintenance is really designed to deal with existing buildings and look at how we can begin to take an existing building and make it green. And then there are certain particular strategies and or points related to schools and retail and hospitality, data centers, warehouses, you name it. It's being covered now in the LEED rating system. Then things shift up a little bit here. We're not looking at buildings, we're looking at entire neighborhoods or mixed-use communities. And I believe this is really critical for the future, because one building can only have so much impact. When we begin to look at large residential and non-residential developments, we can begin to see a greater impact on the environment. And LEED for neighborhood development can be awarded at any point along the way, planning or built project. The significance here is that LEED ND has been great. New systems have emerged over the last few years, especially eco-districts, which I'll be covering in a couple weeks, have come up to even address multi-use neighborhoods and communities at a deeper level. And then, of course, there's LEED for homes, which not only looks at single-family homes, but looks at low-rise and mid-rise housing. And right now, this is a very popular system because in the U.S., most construction for residential is for apartments and condominiums, and LEED for homes fits into this very well. It is a unique system in that it has a different approval process and different engagement with what we call LEED providers, who help validate the project as it goes through the system. So that was a really, really, really brief overview of the LEED rating system. Next, I'm going to be covering LEED and how it's organized. And I do suggest that you go back to the LEED reference guides for a lot more detailed information than I'm providing today. So thank you, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.